I think it's really important for Sky, and in particular Sky Living, to support International Women's Day. We have great female talent, both in front of the camera and behind the camera. Sky Living is a female-skewed channel. There is a place, absolutely, for programmes about dieting and about weddings and fashion, but not exclusively. Women don't want to just think about those things all day long. So we wanted to broaden it out, but still remain female-skewed.
Will does that too, you know?
What? Have affairs?
Flirtatiously changes the subject. You have that pathology in common.
We did a series called Drama Matters, which was a series of 5 pilots, drama pilots, and they were all written by female screenwriters.
Get that animal out of my house.
I'm just having a wee cat.
You can do that on the phone, Grant. You are having a Nando's with her.
We've got Doll and M on screen at the moment, which is a comedy series that stars Emily Mortimer and her best friend Dolly Wells. It's about female friendship.
Yes, I can see you, but I can't stop.
Destination improved.
Doll! Doll! You're driving right past me. What you doing?
We've also got Trying Again coming up, starring Jo Joyner from EastEnders in her first big series since EastEnders.
Takes the edge off.
We've got the Blacklist, starring James Spader and Megan Boone in a really strong lead. So we very much have females at the forefront of our programmes.
FBI, follow that ambulance. Drive now!
We've done a lot of research into what it is that our female customers really like. And one thing that's totally evident is the fact that they love crime drama.
It's eerie the way when I move, she follows me as though she knows exactly where I am.
That's because she can see you.
It's a window, Bones. It's not a two-way mirror.
Oh.
Right.
We've spoken to our customers, our female customers, about how they like to watch television. And actually, they really like to watch with their partners. So rather than having things that are exclusively for women and that would alienate men, we've made sure that a lot of our shows are co-viewing.
Seriously, you'd find it so much easier with a spatula.
Okay.
He's ignoring you, Emma.
I'm not here, really.
Have you got one there, darling?
Yeah.
Emma, that's a lot easier to steer with.
Funny that, isn't it?
We at Sky Living think it's really important to inspire change for the better, and International Women's Day is a really, really big part of that. Have a look at www.sky.com/IWD to see all the ways we're supporting International Women's Day at Sky.
Gender intelligence, the science of communication, and how it's going to help you improve your communication techniques in the workplace and, of course, at home. The programme has been put together by Everywoman and Sky in celebration of International Women's Day, which is on Saturday, the 8th of March. To tell us more about International Women's Day and the agenda for our event today, I'd please like you all to welcome Everywoman founders Karen Gill and Maxine Benson, and from Sky, HR Director Joe Lewis. Welcome, ladies. Lovely to have you here. Thank you very much for inviting me to be a part of what is a very special day. Karen, just explain a little bit about International Women's Day and why it's so important and what it's all about.
Well, essentially, it's a day of celebration, and it's in recognition of all of the achievements that we have made politically, economically, and socially. And in fact, it was started well over 100 years ago in the 1900s, and it's now, however, celebrated by men and women all over the world. And we have, obviously, during the last decade, century, achieved some real milestones, such as campaigning and winning for the right to vote in Europe and America, and, of course, equal rights and equal pay at work. And although women now have greater equality and much greater visibility in business with, you know, some fantastic role models that we now see especially in the world of work, and many of those you're going to see today, which is great. However, here in the UK, for example, women who make up 51% of the population, in fact, only make up 22% of our MPs, 23% of judges, and 31% of local councillors. In the workplace, only 13% of directors of FTSE 250 companies are women, and of those FTSE 250 companies, 67 still have all male boards. Women just constitute 15% of female directors of companies across the European Union, and in America they hold only 16% of corporate board seats. And across Asia Pacific, directors make up on average in the countries across Asia Pacific 8%, and then in India this drops to 4%. So, and these are the positions of influence that really make up the core of our society. So it's really vital that we, improve these and we get equal representation among them. And of course, in some parts of the world, we are still fighting for girls' rights to an education and to have a woman's life valued as equally as that of a man. So that is why we are celebrating International Women's Day and why it's so important.
Clearly is. Max, from your perspective, tell us a little bit about this year's International Women's Day and our event today.
Yeah, well, Karen and I founded Everywoman in 1999 to specifically address the inequalities for women in business and to champion their advancement in the workplace. Today we work alongside companies that are looking to develop and retain a talent pipeline of female leaders, and we also work with individual women who are looking to advance themselves and others. So International Women's Day for us always has a business focus, and every year we choose a different theme and a different way to celebrate the day. Last year we launched Ambition Hour, which was a government-endorsed campaign to encourage every woman to set aside just 1 hour a week to focus on themselves and their development, to explore their goals and implement an ongoing plan to turn their business and career goals into reality. Well, this year, in line with the International Women's Day theme of inspiring change, we wanted to focus on celebrating the differences between the sexes and demonstrate how understanding gender differences in business today is essential. We know, and it's proven, that women and men have different behavioural patterns and different needs and are motivated by different things. So biologically, psychologically, and neurologically, we are different. And we communicate in different ways. And the organisations that value those differences and understand how these diverse gender strengths strengthen and complement each other are the organisations that are going to inspire change. So for us, today is about celebrating the success of women in business and demonstrating that gender differences, all differences, should be welcomed and embraced. And it's not about men understanding women, women understanding men. It's about men and women inspiring change together.
We're going to get a little insight into men understanding women and women understanding men in the quiz later on.
We hope.
Just to see how big that divide might be. Jo, let's talk about from Sky's perspective. It's great that Sky are involved, and clearly things like this are hugely important to Sky, but what are Sky trying to do to help women in the workplace?
So we do lots of things at Sky to support women who are already in our workplace, including, but absolutely not limited to, things like mentoring, making a full range of flexible working patterns available, and leadership and development opportunities. But I think in our experience, the main thing that helps us to support women to achieve their ambitions is to keep the channels of communication open, to not make assumptions about what individual women do or don't want to do, what their aspirations are, where they would like to go. And that's probably the really critical thing to our success. But we don't only think about women who are already in our workforce. What we're also concerned about is the opportunities for young people and girls, obviously in particular, in the wider community. And through the Sky Academy, we're looking to do a number of things that will help give opportunities to young people to take the first step on their career, and including a number of initiatives that are particularly addressing girls to open their eyes to the opportunities in sectors and industries and types of jobs, like technology, some of the kind of behind-the-scenes work in television, for example, where we've not previously had big numbers of women entering those areas. So we want to make sure we're kind of pipelining female talent for the future, putting opportunities out there for people who are not yet of an age to work, as well as looking after our own workforce.
Great stuff. Well, it's lovely that Sky are partnering up today. I think it's going to be a hugely entertaining and interesting event. Thank you very much. Put your hands together for Karen, Maxine, and for Jo, everybody. Inspired by her entrepreneurial mother at a very young age, our first speaker began her career at 16 with just a passion for the creative. Today, she puts her design stamp on homes, yachts, aircrafts, hotels, restaurants, and commercial buildings all around the world. She's the author of 8 books. She has her own design school, and she designs ranges from everything from wallpaper right through to candles. She was appointed a member of the Order of the British Empire, an MBE, in 2009 in the New Year's Honours List. And this autumn, her entrepreneurial talents led her to our TV screens, which we all enjoy immensely. She's a passionate believer in championing British entrepreneurs. She is an ambassador for the Prince's Trust and the Prince's Initiative for Mature Enterprise. Please welcome to the stage, Kelly Hoppen.
Good morning, good morning. I sort of feel like I've raced across London to get here this morning. I could have had a bike, I would have got here quicker. It's always wonderful for me to talk about women. Women are so incredibly empowering, as are men. But, you know, we're a unique race, and I think we have qualities that I certainly am very proud of. And, you know, I started my business at 16 and a half, and I'm 53 or 54. I've lost count. But there isn't a day that I don't get up and love what I do and love being a woman. I never doubted my success, and I know that sounds weird, but I think that everyone should be able to dream about what they want. And I think that visualizing your future is the strongest tool that you can have. And I read something the other day that said anyone can have a dream, anyone can make a dream come true, but if you do that on your own, the dream isn't big enough. Which brings me to what Everywoman has taught me and International Women's Day, is that women are brilliant at talking. We never stop. And the great thing is that as a woman, you can sit in a room, everybody wants to share. And the great thing about being an entrepreneur and being a great woman in business is about sharing and talking about your failures, because you learn from your failures. And when you hear somebody else say something and you think, oh my God, that happened to me. It's okay, you know, I can overcome that. And I think that something happened to me and I changed my speech a little bit today, because I have literally just got off a plane with Comic Relief where I was in Kibera, in the largest urban slum in Africa. And it took my breath away, and I went there specifically to talk to women who had been helped to start up their businesses. So whenever I've seen that International Women's Day, you know, and I'm appalled to say that I thought this, I think of New York, London, Tokyo. You know, I don't think of it as an international, that in these slums, there are women who have started businesses. And the interesting thing is that they had a very small amount of money, but the thing that pushed them through were mentors. Now, I was really lucky. I had an incredible mother, have an incredible mother. She was my role model. And we've talked before with Everywoman about how important role models are. And these women have got mentors now that they can talk to every week that support them. And I met women who had opened schools. I met women who had opened hairdressing salons. So within this slum that you would think is a slum, I know it's weird to say, and it was dangerous at times, but there were women getting up, doing their hair, painting their nails, getting their kids to school, and every one of these women was making jobs for other women who were making work for other women. There were kids that were learning how to box so that they felt they were secure against rape, but with that, they were telling me they wanted to become lawyers, they wanted to become, you know, bankers. My breath was taken away. I don't think my heart has ever melted as much as it did when I was there. But I came back feeling more empowered and more empowered to speak today because, you know, I've written a list of the things that make women credible. You know, you have to believe in yourself. And these women that I was just with, they believed in themselves, even with all the destruction around them. And my God, there was a lot. Confidence. They need confidence. Just needs one person to keep telling them, you're brilliant, you can do it. Have that support. Courage. Huge. Courage is such a massive thing today in business. You know, women have children, they have families, we're brilliant at multitasking, but at the end of the day, you can sometimes feel quite lonely. You need patience, something women don't often have, but patience actually gets you a long way in business. Tenacity, never give up. Why should you? If you believe in something, you can always overcome it. taking risks, that is a really big thing today. You have to take risks. You've always got to push yourself to the next level. And believe me, when you sort of overcome those risks, you feel even more empowered as a woman. Never settle for no, something I've never settled for. And self-doubt is the biggest thing that can stop you from doing well. You shouldn't have fear in business. You shouldn't. And the whole thing about equality. Now, I'm a woman that has a business. I have people that work for me who are men and women. Do you know, it never crosses my mind that everyone isn't equal. But I know that my little bubble, the Kelly Hoppen bubble, is unique. But the thing is, somebody once said to me, do you feel like a man in business? And I looked around and I said, well, if I was a man, I'd have 3 balls. And everybody laughed and thought, yeah. But the point is, I don't want to be a man. I'm happy being a woman in business. And actually, my femininity is what I think is different in this world. I love having men in business. I like having women in business. In the world, you need balance. And I think that part of what annoys me is that there's always a negative in the press about, men are getting better jobs, being paid more. And maybe that's the case in certain businesses in the world. But the point is, if we were to focus on the things that mattered, which is that we're good at what we do, it doesn't matter that we're a woman and that there are men doing the same job. If you're not confident and you don't have the belief in what you're doing, that's what's going to be the thing that's going to stop you in business. Let passion be your success in business. That's what's important. I bounce out of bed most mornings because I'm passionate about what I do. My motto is nothing's too big, but nothing's ever big enough. I'm always trying to strive for something bigger and better. And it's not because I'm trying to have more articles in the press or more people to pat me on the back. It fuels me and it makes me feel good at what I'm doing. Positivity is the most important thing in business and in the world and what we do today. And I think that it doesn't matter what gender you are, it's who you are that matters. And I think certainly from coming back from Africa yesterday, I realized that all over the world people have dreams and people want to succeed. And sometimes it's a little bit of success just to be able to put food in their children's mouths. And there are people in the world that want to be successful because they want to make money. And there's nothing wrong with making money. You shouldn't feel guilty about it. And there are other people that work because they're creative and they just love doing it. And there are other women that love to work because they've had babies and they want to get back to work and they want to communicate with people. It doesn't really matter. You have to find your niche as a woman, and you have to excel in that at the level of which you feel comfortable. But, trust me, being a woman in business, I think, is better than being a man. So thank you.